Guys, good afternoon, good evening.
Good afternoon.
So, guys, we have Ms. Bhanupriya
Good afternoon, sir.
from HUSPY UAE. Good afternoon, guys. So, she will share the details of the loans, mortgage, and how we can leverage the banks of UAE and how we can help our clients. Like, if somebody is having the less budget, or maybe he want to have a bigger size, but because of the budget constraint, he is not able to buy the property or upgrade the property. So through this channel, we can easily service our clients. We can easily help them solving the queries. So over to you, Bhanupriya. Please share all the details. And guys, if you have any question, please drop the questions in a chat box or Q&A box. And at the end of the presentation, she will answer all the queries, all the questions, and you can simply unmute yourself and you can ask questions at the end of the presentation. Bhanupriya, over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Bhanupriya and I work with HUSPY. I have got 12 years of experience into real estate and mortgages. I'm going to share a few details about HUSPY. To start with, who HUSPY is, why you should refer your clients to HUSPY, what is the mortgage process that client goes through. I will give you a little brief about that. And then how you can understand if client is eligible for the mortgages. I will give you a brief about that too. Okay, so to start with, who HUSPY is, it is into the market from 2020. It is a leading mortgage company in UAE, holding a share of 35 plus percentage, which means out of every 3 home buyers, one opt for mortgage solution through HUSPY. We have got 50 plus bank ops team who filter the profiles for you before sending it to the bank. So only the clean cases we send it to the bank, which means the chances of getting your cases rejected is negligible. Okay, now what special we are offering to your clients. We offer them the tailor-made solution. Every profile is different. You understand, somebody who's salaried in the home countries, there could be a possibility there might be few check bounces. Maybe they haven't paid their EMIs on time. Somebody who has a clean profile, earning good salary. So various profiles, we offer them tailor-made solution basis what their profile is. We just not do the home loans, we also offer the commercial loans as well as the business loans as well. So we have got a separate team for that who do these products. So if client have queries like this, they want a mortgage on a land, we can definitely cater that too. So these are the top banks we work with. 15 plus banks we have strong relationship with. These bank officers sit into our office to provide us the services. So which means the cases that you're going to provide it to us, we have better clarity on that. You can provide real time solution to your client. With if there are certain deviations in the cases, we can discuss with them, and your cases are going to move faster. Okay, now I'll give you a bit brief about how the process is in the mortgages. So first, if you share any lead with me, I'm going to make the first pre-approval call to the client to to understand their eligibility. This call take approximately 10 minutes or so, wherein I will understand the eligibility. Uh, if there are any co-applicants in it, I will understand that too. Once that call is done, I will send a bank proposal to the client, basis their profile. I'll just show you in the end how the proposal looks like. It's a beautiful one document that will tell your client what is the DLD fees here, what is the trustee fees here, if there are any mortgage related expenses, be it the pre-approval fee, be it the life insurance fee, and there are many other fees associated with the mortgages. So this is one document. Client sitting in any other country, let's say in India, they can get to know how much own contribution they should have in hand before investing in. So once the pre-qualification call is done, we will send the proposal to the client. Once client confirms that he wants to proceed with a bank, we will come back to you and tell you to tell us the property so that we can send that property for valuation. So bank takes approximately 7 days time to 10 days time. These are 10 working days time. And the bank valuation is done by the third party. Once the valuation report we receive, we go for the FOL, which is final offer letter. The final offer letter, client has to come to bank's office to sign the checks. Once the final offer letter is being signed, the case move ahead for disbursal. Disbursal hardly take 2 days time. And the final offer letter release takes approximately again 10 working days time. For a non-resident case, collectively, if you see, the disbursal would be between 30 to 45 days time. If it is a salaried case, we can do it in 30 days time. If everything goes smooth, if client is providing us the documents on time. If it is a self-employed case, again, if documents are in place, we can still do it in 30 days time. But to be on a safer side, we tell our client it would take 75 days, 45 days time, sorry. So here is the timeline that I already told you. Pre-qualification 20 minutes, pre-approval 5 to 7 days time, final approval, which is final offer letter 2 to 3 weeks time, collectively 45 days. Now, mortgage assessment criteria for a non-resident. So there are two kinds of loans that we have. One is Islamic, another one is conventional. Those who follow Islamic dharm, they prefer to go with Islamic mortgage. There is no much difference in the interest rate. Also, it is almost same. Just the terminology is different. So we have both the products with us. The profile could be salaried and self-employed. There are certain banks for non-resident which are friendly with the salaried profile. So we would be suggesting those banks to the clients. If a client is self-employed, there are certain banks who do cases quickly for self-employed. So this is why product would vary, depends what client's profile is. Then comes the type of transaction. As I know that most of you focus on the primary sales. So we can do the handover payment for those clients. And we do secondary, we can do mortgage on secondary sales as well. The loan to value for a non-resident client varies from 50% to 65%. We do have banks who can do loan up to 65%. So again, depends the product that client is picking in and also about his profile, it depends too. Maximum tenure, we can go up to 25 years. If client's age is 50 years, we can consider the deviation and we can go up till 20 years as well, which means ideally till 65 age, the mortgage could be done. But if the client's profile is good, we can extend the age up to 70 years. That would be deviation. So basis approval, we can proceed. Minimum age is 21 years and it can go up to 65 years. And again, 70 years basis approval. Rate of interest for the banks here starts from 4.19% and it can go up to 6.99%, wherein the fixed interest rate is from 1 to 3 years and it can go, and our follow-on rate would be variable basis, the IBOR rate. There are certain banks, if you do the early payment, the bank charge 1% of the outstanding principal amount or 10,000, whichever amount is lower, bank charge that. If let's suppose client got a lump sum payment from somewhere and they want to reduce their principal amount, they can do the prepayment. Again, bank charge an extra cost for it. It is again 1% for few banks, but we still have, 1 or 2 banks who would not charge anything if client is making the payment of 25% or 30% of the principal amount. Now, there are certain criteria for different banks, how they consider the profile or how they make the eligibility for them. So one very sorted product that we have for non-resident clients and maximum non-resident clients we do with this bank only, wherein client picks the average balance for 3 months of your saving account, which has to be 25,000 dirham. Wherein if you keep this much amount in your account for a continuous 3 months, you are eligible for 1.2 million loan. The interest rate for this bank is 5.99%. But again, the client who doesn't have a good CIBIL score in their home country, this bank would not check your CIBIL score. So you can, those who are self-employed, who are not filing the ITR, who don't have the audit reports for their company. So in such cases, we can go with this bank for 5.99% basis the 3 months eligible, 3 months if they're maintaining 25,000 dirham in their account. If they're maintaining, let's say, 40,000 dirham in their account, they can get a loan of approximately 2.2. I have to change that. Don't go with the numbers mentioned here, but this is for a separate bank. 40,000, if the client is maintaining the balance, they can go for 2.2 million loan. And if it is 25,000, safe side 30,000 dirham, they can go for a loan of 1.3 million approximately. But if the client wants a lesser interest rate, if they insist you that I don't want to go for a higher interest rate, then client has to provide us various documents. It would include their company statements, their company financials, the home bureau report, also the credit bureau report of their home country. So if client want to opt for a lesser interest rate, they should have a clean profile. These are the basic documents that we would require for a non-resident case. We would require a passport, national ID, could be Aadhaar or maybe your voter ID, latest utility bill where they're staying currently, 6 months statement of their saving account. Then, of course, if it is a self-employed case, we would require the company documents, MOA, AOA, their shareholding, the company statement for 2 years we would require, and the company, the person's credit CIBIL score for India specifically. So we would require that. Now, with this product, how you can multiply your business, how you can upsell it to your client. Let's suppose if a client's budget is to buy a studio, you can pitch them a mortgage through which you can sell them a 1 BHK or a BHK basis their eligibility. Also, you can get an equity. If client owns a property in UAE, we can get an equity of up to 50% on that property cost. So we will send that property for valuation, whatever the valuation is, up to 50% client can get an equity and they can buy another property from that. So in that case, client doesn't have to arrange the down payment. Through the equity, he can manage the down payment. And the remaining amount, he can, again, if eligibility is there or if somebody else can be a co-applicant on that property, they can have a mortgage on that person's name, let's suppose husband and a wife. So he took an equity on his existing property. Through wife's income, we can get a loan on the new property. So ideally, 2 loans we took and bought a property. So if you see the interest rate that we have in UAE, EMI is approximately 50% of the rental income they earn from that property. So it is a win-win for the client. You have got a property which is appreciating with time. You have rented that property as well. And you are saving some money out of rental even after paying the EMI. The non-resident clients, it's not that you can just be restricted to one mortgage. If eligibility is there, you can get a mortgage on 2 to 4 units, again, basis bank to bank. The loan to value on the subsequent property will also remain 50 to 60%. Also, there is an advantage if father wants to own a property, but again, his age is 60, 65, you cannot go for a mortgage. Son can become a co-borrower. Son can become the main applicant in the loan and get a mortgage for that property for the father. Also, we try that client doesn't have to visit again and again to get the mortgage done. We just require one visit when client wants the loan. We will get the pre-approval done prior when they're in their own country. When they're visiting here, we can get the account opened in that particular bank. We can get we can get the checks signed by the client on the same day. Power of attorney can be given to any of the client's relative in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, wherever they are buying a property. And during the time of final offer letter signing or disbursal or visit at the trustee office when the final transfer happens, client doesn't have to visit. They can give the power of attorney to somebody who's known to them, and they can do all the process on their behalf. So client doesn't have this hassle to visit the country again and again for the mortgage. For the commercial, LTV, loan to value, is up to 70%. Whatever the property cost is, again, it varies from bank to bank. It can go up to 70%. Interest rate on commercial is 5.5% to 7.5%. And on the commercial property, the tenure is up till 15 years. Okay, so, all you have to do is you have to just share a lead, and there is an app that we have on HUSPY. You update your lead, or you can send the lead to me directly, and you can track your client real time. I will be posting you on each step what interaction is happening. We did a few cases with Remax already where client was not eligible for it right now. They bought the property, it was an off plan again, and the final demand is going to come in the month of August. So what we are going to do in that case, we started making the profile of that client. We told them what all things are to be done to ensure that they become eligible by end of May month, so that June, July we have to process their loan. So we can any day start profiling, you start building up your client's profile. If not today, maybe after 3 months they will become eligible for it. So you share the lead, irrespective of what their profile is. We will get the mortgage done. We If not right now, maybe in the coming time we will get it done. Here are my contact details. You can scan it, or it is mentioned there also. So all the queries that you have, you can connect with me on WhatsApp. You can call me directly. You have my email ID here. If you want to share any documents before, connecting me with the client, I can go through the documents also and tell you what is the eligibility. So you can save my contact details here. Okay, Adi, if anybody has any queries, I would like to address that.
Thank you, Bhanupriya. Your phone number PIN code was wrong actually. It was 971. It's meant 9. So please
Okay.
correct.
Yeah. +97, yeah.
So guys, please ask if you have any question. Please save the contact details, scan the QR code, and I'm sure you guys have lots of clients for UAE, for Dubai, but maybe some budget constraint or maybe some other reasons. So we have opened up another window. So now you can have detailed discussion of your client. So you can speak up, or maybe you can drop a message. Bhanupriya is there to answer all the queries.
So I spoke with few of the agents of Remax in India, and they told me that we didn't know that mortgage could be done on off plans also. So we can do off plans. There are few banks. Client has to pay 50% for sure from their pocket. 50% construction status should be there. We should be reflected on the website. These are two conditions that has to be there, and after that client is eligible for the mortgage. And again, there is one more restriction, that only top 10 builders we can do off plans with. So MR is there, Aldar is there. There are a few other brokers. I have a list of it. I can share that. Only for those builders we can do off plan. And still,
Yeah,
if there is
major.
an exception also, we
Yeah.
can definitely work upon it. We can talk to the bank. If they can bring that builder on the panel, we can do some extra paperwork for that. So any and every case you can discuss it. We can bring a solution.
I guess major of the developers we have MR, Shobha, Devank, Bingati,
Aziz
uh,
is also there.
yeah, Azizi, every
Hmm,
developer.
hmm,
Yes, the
hmm,
major
hmm,
developers, the top 10 or
hmm,
top 15 developers,
hmm,
Aldar, or say all these developers are already on the panel.
hmm.
Yes.
Handover payment, we can do it for any builder. Handover payment is not an issue. We are talking about the under construction property. For under construction, there is a limitation. But if it is a handover payment, we can do it for any builder.
So can we give a pre-sanction letter to a client before he is shortlisting a property?
Of course, we can do that. Client doesn't have to tell us the property. He has to tell us the cost of the property,
Okay.
so that we can calculate the loan to value 60% if he's eligible for that, and we can provide the pre-approval basis that.
Okay. Okay. And maybe some of the cases wherein client is buying off plan and say possession in probably next 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years. So can we have an interaction with client assuring him that okay, what all we need and you will be eligible for loan? Can we do such calls?
So, yes, of course, we can do that. If the possession is later, is client opting for the mortgage right now, or he just want to understand his eligibility?
He's buying property based on the mortgage. If he gives him
Okay.
the assurance that okay, you will get a mortgage at handover, they may buy. So just want the assurance from the banker
Of
side.
course, of course. We can tell the client right now, how much he's eligible for. So could be done. There is no problem in it. We can do pre-qualify calls for the client. No issues with that.
Uh, One more question. Like we deals in like dirhams and maybe 100,000 or maybe millions, like, but in India it is lakhs and crores. So do we uh, get a proposal by converting dirham into rupees so that it will be easier for a client and for us also to understand it better? Is it possible from your side?
Could be customized. We can do that. That has to be done manually. That reminds me of sharing a proposal with you. This is a beautiful document that, just give me a second. So this is a proposal. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So right after the interaction with the call, right after interaction with the client, this is the document that we share with our client. So the property cost, this is for a resident case. We prepare the same for a non-resident case as well. So this was the loan amount that my client wanted. Loan to value was 80% here. You can see that there are two banks we pitched to this client. This is the EMI. How much is the interest rate? What would be the follow-on rate? Property insurance, in one bank's case it is 0 dirham, in the other banks, so that you can do comparison between three banks. So this proposal is sent to every client after the pre-qualification call, so that they can compare few banks and then they take a suitable decision. Because mortgage is not for a short duration. It is going to be with you for 25 years. Usually people don't continue for such long time. They do early payments and they close it, but still it is something that is going to be with you for a longer run. So we do this sort of comparison. We suggest them two or three products, and accordingly client tells us which product is good for them. As you can see, life insurance also, it is mentioning that 205 dirham per month client has to pay for life insurance. If they want to do overpayment with this bank, they can do up to 30%. With this bank, they can do up to 20% of the principal amount every year. Okay, bank processing fee in case of Adib is zero. Here it is 1920. Same for property value. It varies from bank to bank. So this one document will give your client complete clarity. It is not just about the mortgage. It is also about the land department fee, how much they government would pay, would ask for. Then there's a mortgage fee that again has to be paid to the bank. Transfer fee is there. Property valuation fee, client pays it before the valuation. So everything is mentioned here. In the end, you can see that down payment client has to arrange is this 300,000 dirham. And the upfront fees is also, it gives you the total value. So this is a document that helps client understand how much money he should have in his pocket before buying a property.
Vanupriya ma'am.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to check one thing. What are
Mhm.
your charges for preparing a mortgage proposal for any client? Are there any charges upfront to be paid?
For the mortgage proposal
Yes.
or the complete mortgage process you're talking about?
Assuming somebody is contemplating whether to take the loan or not, so and he is
Mhm.
not decided yet, right? There would be few
Mhm.
possible cases. So in that case, if some client decides to take a proposal from you and then subsequently he may decide not to pursue with the proposal loan, then what are your charges in that case?
So the pre-qualification call that I'm going to make, it is free of cost.
Okay.
Pre-approval is also free of cost.
Hmm.
Further, we charge our client from 0.5% to 1% basis again their profile. And in certain cases, if cases, where profile is sorted, basically we charge for the profiling that we do for the client. A lot of documentation is done. At times we have to bring the builder on the panel also, wherein extra work we have to do for that specific client. Once the profile is sorted, it is simple, clean, be it self-employed or salaried, we get a management approval also to consider that too. But the initial fees, the pre-approval fees, we don't charge anything to make client understand how much they're eligible for.
Mhm.
Right. Thank you.
Most welcome.
So like everything can be done on phone. So client need to travel for the process till disbursement, or like how many it is required to disburse the loan. It is separated from the property transaction and all these process related to the registration. I'm just speaking
Mhm.
about the loan process. So if client say proceed with the loan, then how many visits or how many visit to the office, to the bank, to the developer required for the loan process?
So, see, before the dispersal happens, I'm not talking about the case where it's a off plan and the loan has to disbursed in 2027. Let's suppose August client has to disburse the loan. We will start the process in, let's say, June end, because it's a 45 days process, July, August. So, June, when client is visiting here, uh, client has to open the bank account in which he is processing his mortgage. For that, he has to be here. So when the client is visiting, just one visit, he will go to the bank, open the account. There are certain checks, few banks ask to sign. We will request the banker to get it signed in that visit only. And he has to go to the court to get the power of attorney signed. So all this can be done in one visit. When client is visiting here for 2 to 3 days time, all things can be done in that particular visit. So he doesn't have to come again and again. Once the power of attorney is given, power of attorney clearly mentions that this person is assigned for FOL signing, for disbursal, take the property papers, collect the property papers on my behalf. So there are certain points we put it in power attorney, giving that person the authority to do that.
So if in
So
case
just one visit is sufficient.
so if client don't want to give any power of attorney, then how many visits required?
Then everywhere client would be required who will deal on behalf of the client. If there
The
are
client,
two people.
client deal, like client don't want to give any power of attorney. So like at the time of bank opening, he can be in Dubai, or maybe at the time of disbursement, he can be in Dubai. So minimum visit required, 2 visits, 3 visits, or maybe a duration of 7 days required that he should be in Dubai during all the process. So like just wanted to understand how much time you need to spend physically in Dubai for the process.
So for sure, account opening and FOL can be done in one go, in one visit. Disbursement and get disbursement check gets ready and it is sent to trustee office. So 2 visits minimum would be required. And if
Okay.
anything goes wrong in between that, if there is anything that doesn't go as per the plan, it might extend also. But ideally, we can get it done in 2 visits.
So I consider it as that at the time of application, FOL and everything, he need to be in Dubai, and at the time of registration or hand over the check and the payments, I guess, he should be in
Yeah,
physically he should present in Dubai, or he can give a power of attorney if he trusts or he knows someone in Dubai, right?
yeah,
So is it
definitely.
is it is it applicable only for Dubai or the complete UAE?
Complete UAE.
Okay, okay.
Complete UAE.
Okay, and I guess golden visa is directly is nowhere connected with this. So this is a separate process. Customer will be eligible for golden visa if he invest more than
2
2 million.
million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So through loan also customer can be eligible for
Of course. You just have to buy a property of 2 million plus, irrespective of where you are arranging your funds, you are eligible for that.
Okay.
We do have an entity where we are providing golden visas also to our clients. So if there is any query like that, we can also connect you with a separate team for it if clients want any assistance on that. So it's a one place solution. You can connect your client that too.
Okay. Okay. Guys, any questions? Anything you want to ask? So thank you, Anupriya. I guess people have already saved your number. We'll share your details in the group. And I guess you have started receiving the calls and messages also in last 2 weeks after the Goa
Yeah,
convention.
I'm getting that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll share the details and thank you for your participation, and we'll definitely have some cases with you.
Thank you for having me here. If you have any queries, I'm more than happy to help.
Great. Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.